All right, good morning. Welcome to workout number 3. This is a full body workout using light dumbbells, resistance bands, and a bench. So our first exercise today is going to be a sumo stiff-legged deadlift. Okay, so very similar to the sumo deadlift where we're going straight up and down, only this time we're just going to reach back with our hips. So we're going to have a nice shoulder width stance, or a little wider than shoulder width stance, 2 dumbbells. We're going to throw the hips back, minimal bend of the knees, and then transition up into the top. Okay? We want to make sure that we're feeling this in our hamstrings as we go up and down. And as usual, we're going to go either a high rep set, 20 reps or better, or a heavier weight set where we're going 8 to 12 repetitions. You want to make sure you're keeping your core braced in this one, because those dumbbells should stay close to the body, but you're also throwing your hips way back, as you can see. So we get to the end of our set, and once we're done, we're just going to either hold on to the dumbbells and go right into the next set, or we're going to set our dumbbells down in a safe manner and then come back up to the top. Now our next exercise is a little bit more challenging. We're going to do a split squat. So we're going to extend out in a lunge position, and we're just going to transition up and down into the split squat. And it's just like we're going to take a knee. Remember, we want to take a knee on the back knee, which I'll show you a side angle on the next leg. This one, definitely body weight will work fine for your high rep sets. Add a little bit of weight for your heavier sets of 8 to 12. And just kind of holding those dumbbells down at the side. So we want to make sure that we got a nice split stance. So it's a little larger than a normal step. And then we're crumbing down onto the back knee. It's just like we're bringing the back knee down all the way to the ground. Now, if our range is a little less, that's fine. Just don't drop as deep as we go down. Nice solid bend. Drive up, drive down. Finish our reps, and then we move on to our next exercise. So our next exercise is going to be a dumbbell chest press. We're going to have a little bit of an incline there. So we're going to set our bench up to about a 15 to 30 degree incline. We're going to have both of our dumbbells. Start with a lighter set until you know what you can handle on this one. We're going to pull the dumbbells over the chest, and we're going to keep them facing our palms facing one another. We're going to bring the elbows down nice and deep and squeeze those dumbbells up into the overhead position. Make sure you're getting a nice even press. You're keeping your shoulder blades back on the bench. Go wide with the dumbbells, keeping a good bend in the elbows. Let them kind of stretch the chest at the bottom and then press. And we're always pressing out on exertion. Keeping our shoulders back on the bench. Get to the end of our set. Bring our elbows down by the ribs, and then just pivot them forward on the front thighs. So we can set those dumbbells now. This one we're going to go into a band pull apart variation. So you need a light resistance band, something that you can extend your arms and pull back. Okay, so we're going to do 2 variations of this one. First is just a regular band pull apart, where our arms are nice and tight, rigid elbows, and we're just pulling that band to the chest. We're going to do about 20 reps there. So these are high rep exercises. We're also going to do a pull down motion here for the lats. Now you'll notice if you need a little less tension, you go a little wider on the band. If you need more tension, you choke up on that band real good, and then really engage those lats as you pull down. Now you can also pull down to the front of your chest if that's easier. You can sometimes pull in behind the head and get a little bit better activation. So whichever feels more comfortable, but you basically want those arms to be straight up and down and then pull down to your upper chest. Just like a lat pull down with a machine. Give a little bit of squeeze at the bottom, another 20 reps, and then rest. Whew. Now, our next one is going to be a dumbbell kickback. So we're going to take a lighter weight, find a brace point on our bench somewhere that's firm. Get in a nice stance where your shoulder width, butt's back, back straight, and then we're just going to kick that dumbbell back. Now we want to make sure that that elbow is not moving and doing something like this, where we're swinging the weight back. We want to fix it at the ribs and then just extend. Now, a variation of that one is doing 2 dumbbells at once only this time we can't hold on to anything. We got the same pattern where our elbows are glued to our ribs and we're just extending back. So if we can hold our form with our back almost parallel to the floor and kick it back, that'd be most ideal for that one. Now our next exercise is going to be a hammer curl. Basically, we're going to have a thumb up position, elbows into the ribs, and then we're just going to curl, keeping those dumbbells pointed vertically. And again, use a tempo of about 1 on the way up, 2 seconds on the way down. That way we're really absorbing the force. And that can count for every exercise in this pattern. A 1-2 pattern works really well. 1 up, 2 seconds on the way down. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Okay? All right, we get to the end of our reps. We set those ones down. Now this time we're going to use an elevated sit-up for our core. So we're going to transition our bench down to the ground. We're going to come up with our knees up on the bench. And then we're simply going to perform sit-ups, trying to touch the ankles. Now you really only need to get your shoulders off the ground. Give those abs a nice little squeeze. So if it's too intense on the neck, trying to come all the way up, then simply glide your hands towards your bench and get your shoulders off of the bench as we sit up there. Get a little breath out as you push to the top, and then release out. Now those are all high rep moves, so 15-20 reps at minimum as we go through. All right, we're gonna go through all of those exercises again. I'm just gonna set up my bench for the press so I can go right into the press when I'm done. A little sticky on the bench there. Okay, so remember our first exercise was a sumo stiff-legged deadlift. So we got a nice wide stance. Dumbbells are held in front of us. We're just gonna hip back, slight bend in the knees, come back up. Nice tight core brace. Pushing those hips back, bending the knees, driving them up. To follow that exercise, we're doing a little split squat. So nice lunge pattern, big step, bring the back knee down, driving straight up. Now again, body weight may be great for doing these at high reps. Once you get a little load in your hands, the 8 to 12 is probably a better target to shoot for. Also remember, you're cruising down to the back knee. Don't lean forward and push onto that front knee. Don't lean forward like this. Keep the body straight up and down. If you need to hold on to something, like your bench or whatnot, to do these, to assist with the balance, then go ahead and do so. And then it's the same movement pattern. Okay? All right. So now our other exercise was an dumbbell incline press. So we come down. Remember, we're keeping the dumbbells facing one another. Up over the chest as usual. Come down, let the chest stretch. Squeeze them up to the top. Breathing out as we push. Bring them down into the ribs. Send them all the way down. Okay? And we grab our resistance band. High rep moves from now on. 15 to 20 reps. So band pull aparts. Nice straight arms. Don't flex the wrist. Keep the wrist straight as we go. Rip those out. And then we go straight up overhead into our pull downs. Remember, we can pull in the back or in the front. Give those lots of little squeeze. If you need more tension, choke up on the band. And keep going. Okay, 15, 20 reps out of this one. Hit our 20. Drop our band, grab our lighter weights. We're going to do the double dumbbell kickback this time, just for time considerations. So we're going to whip the elbows in, extend back, Squeezing those dumbbells to the rear. Try to keep those elbows fixed in place. Don't let those arms swing and do something like this. Okay, keep them fixed so you get all the benefit out of working those muscles hard. Get to the end of our set, we go right into our dumbbell curl. Remember, elbows are still pinned at the ribs. We're really working the biceps and the forearms. A little bit of grip strength in this one. Good squeeze. 1-2 tempo. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay? Whew. Get to the end of our set. Readjust our bench. And then get right into our elevated sit-up. Now remember, if you could go all the way up and touch your ankles, go ahead and do so. If it's too stressful, just get the shoulders off the ground. Squeeze those abs tight at the top. Get a little breath. Come back. Whew. There you go. All right. That is the end of workout number 3. I encourage you to do one more set. When you're more advanced, you can do 4 sets. And remember, change the weights up. Heavier weights for the 8 to 12 rep range, and then lighter weights or body weight for the 20 or better. You need a little bit of both. You want a little endurance, you want a little strength and hypertrophy. So, all right, that concludes this workout series. I will see you soon.